Alright folks, my name is Freyn and today I've got a video of the M26 Ariete. This is the Italian version of the Pershing. Tree in your engine deck is completely optional. What is not optional, however, are your little Italian decals scattered around the tank. They're going to be your main identifier to show that you aren't the regular American one. And of course the other major difference is the team. This one will only be placed with the Germans, whereas the American M26 is only placed against the Germans. Now for this battle, as you can see, this is Eastern Europe and I am in battle mode, so it's one cap per team. And as always, some terrific map design to start us off. I've just moved out of our spawn forest and I can see enemies moving up the hill on the opposite side of the map. Of course, that's not the only way out of their spawn, so it might not necessarily be bad map design there, but yeah, I probably shouldn't be able to pick off enemy tanks that early on. Still, let's try and not make this video about the map design if we can help it. Focus a bit more on the longer game and on the vehicle I'm driving. Personally, I've always felt the M26 is a little underrated, to be honest. A lot of people like to compare it to the T25, which sits at 5.7, almost a full BR lower. Now if you do want to compare them, the main differences are that the T25 has a stabilizer. In fact, I think it's the last American tank to have a stabilizer until you get to tier 6, certainly the last medium, whereas the Pershing has more armor. Now the armor isn't always going to be enough to save it, but it will bounce a remarkably good number of shots. I do also feel like the Pershing is the far more mobile of the vehicles. Of course, the stabilizer loss is a bit of a pain, but as this is the Italian one, I don't really have any other options. There's only two vehicles in the Italian ground tree at the moment. They're both premium. One is the P40 Leoncello, which I've recently covered, and the other is this. And as with the Leoncello video, this is being brought out now because the Italian tech tree is potentially just around the corner. Gaijin have all but confirmed it, and so it's a good opportunity to roll this out and start getting those crews worked up. Although of course, all of the research points I'm earning are going to be going completely to waste at this stage. But still, let's get back to the battle. I've moved forwards, I'm not too far up. I don't want to stray too far forwards. The enemy has got the faster vehicles. They're going to be in positions before I can get there. In fact, we can already see a few shots coming through these bushes, which have got me a bit concerned. I'm trying to just sort of stick to bits of cover where I can, avoid taking hits, and stay near our cap. I do generally like to play defense, but I can already hear shots firing away, and if I just look to my right there was a brief glimpse of an M26 on the other side of this building. Now, I didn't expect them this far forward this quickly, but of course I did take a while to snipe away at the start. And if he's already this far forward, there will be others, so I need to take care. Just try and get an angle through between these buildings, quickly get rid of him, and then keep an eye out for anything else around. There's an M4, just killed my squad mate, Oddballs, and his Panther. I saw some smoke coming out of those bushes up there, so I know I've got a player on my left. And I can just about see some movement ahead of me as well. Although before I get a chance to deal with that, there's that M4, so he's down. There's another shot coming from behind that building in the smoke, quite the giveaway. So here he comes, Centurion. Go for the weaker turret mantlet, get the breach, but I can hear a lot more firing in all directions, so there's a lot to pay attention to. As we have a Sherman Jumbo behind me, let's quickly dispatch that one. I've still got to remember, of course, that there is a tank on my left somewhere in those bushes, and that Centurion is sat repairing somewhere. If I try and push him, there's a good chance that he might be fixed and I could die, so instead, just try and get an angle on him here. First shot's a bit low, second, place it better, get the engine, The intent being to delay his repair, and although it didn't say fire in the hit cam, it did cause a fire. And so now I'm back with the choice of, do I push up and try and go and attack him before he finishes repairing, or do I just keep going for those shots and hold position? Fortunately, the fire burned him down pretty quickly, so the decision is made for me. Now, at this stage, I had completely forgotten about the fact that there was originally a player to the left. Now, that could have come back to bite me. Thankfully, it hasn't. And I'm choosing to push my way up. Again, not too far. They've already pushed through quite heavily. They'll be going for our cap. And I just want to find some cover so I can safely intercept them. As always, please don't pay any attention to the alerts. This was filmed during a stream, as is pretty much all my gameplay lately. Now, more shots ringing out behind me. There's an M18 moving into the cap. Makes me pretty glad at my decision to move away and come for this little patch of bushes. If I'd been over there, he would have had a clean shot on my side. But where I am, I'm pretty safe from him. A hail of 50 cals giving away another target. That'll be what was out there earlier. Bulldog lurking in the trees. I'm surprised he didn't see me sooner. Now, I didn't spot it at the time, but there's another tank moving just in the top left of the screen there. Can't always see these things while you're playing. Your eyes are always darting around looking for any form of target. Just noticed him now, and it's just a low-level Sherman, so quick and easy dispatch as long as I hit. It's amazing some of the things you can spot when you watch back over your own gameplay. You think, how did I miss that? For instance, I think it was a T20, who, as well, how did he not notice me shooting the Sherman? It shall be quite a large smoke plume coming out of these bushes. I missed out on the kill, I was a little slow, but that is another tank down. They're sort of feeding themselves into our cap point at this moment, so it's working out quite well for us. Things could be going a hell of a lot worse. This isn't a spot I frequent a lot on this map, but I think for this particular layout, this has done me well, and I'll probably start using it a bit more often, especially if I've got a tank with good gun depression like this. Vision isn't perfect through all these bushes, but I can just about see over the top to see things coming, or most of the time I can see over the top to see things coming. Do still get tunnel visioned, and once they find out where I am a bit vulnerable, as you'll see in a moment. Completely tunnel visioned on this Soki. And just as that American Bulldog earlier, giving myself away with the 50 cals. That's kill number 9 already, but it's yeah. Shown the enemy where I am. I can hear the engine. Can't quite see him. Bugger. I don't know if he knew exactly where I was. He did seem to be driving past me rather than at me. If I'd taken a bit of time over my shot, maybe. But yeah, unfortunately it hit the track instead of that lower side plate. And well, that's me down one spawn. The Ariete has 3 spawns. Given that, as mentioned before, it is one of the only vehicles currently available to the Italians, it is given 3 spawns to allow it to at least contribute to the game instead of being out the second it gets shot. Actually, you don't have any flexibility. You are only able to bring the M26 or a plane if you have one. There isn't really anything else. I wouldn't recommend bringing the Leoncello as backup. But it does at least allow you to continue to contribute after death. So, back out and just trying to get out of that horrible spawn point and into an area where there's something resembling cover and a decent line of sight. Still losing tanks all over the place. Another one died just over there on the other side of those buildings. Got a tiger pushing up ahead, so that's a sort of early warning system for me if he dies. And he does seem to be getting shot at already. And I'm just being a little more aggressive with this spawn. If the tiger's pushing forwards, I want to try and help him. I want to try and keep him alive. And try and avoid going into the same spot I was in previously. So many different angles you can get shot from in this town. Challenger sitting on the edge of the water. That's what I mean. Enemies can be pretty much anywhere and they often blend in quite well, especially if they're stationary. With our tiger having pushed up, I'm hoping I should be safe on our side of the river. Of course, assumptions like that are often how you end up getting killed. But if you try to drive around checking every single corner, every direction, you're not going to get anywhere in any decent amount of time. So sometimes you've just got to take that risk. I'm choosing to focus all my attention over to the right, over the river. It's the side the enemies spawn on, it's the side I'm more likely to see them at. But we have also just lost this tiger on my left. Now where are those shots coming from? I can hear a 50 cal, I can hear some gunfire. Where are you? Every game comes down to reading the map. Trying to just take care. And hope that an ammo rack does not take most of the sport from your shell. In fact, that didn't even look like it triggered the fuse on my shell. What should have been a one-shot kill, really, has now resulted in an M26 knowing my location. So I'm a little more restricted, but now obviously I pushed up quite aggressively because I knew I had a teammate here. I've pushed up, I've gotten into a forward position, and then that teammate has died, and having to read the situation and realise I can't really push any further. Continually try and keep my eye on that M36 in the corner of the screen. Just make sure that he isn't able to see me as I back out for shots. And try and pick off what I can find. That is their spawn point over there. It's, again, not really terrific map design. But given the presence of that tank destroyer, I am slightly pinned. What I really want to do is get rid of him, or get him to leave, and then push over this bridge and swing right into the cap from the other direction. Anyone defending the cap is likely to be looking out to the east, expecting tanks to come from that way. If I can approach from the west, I've got a better chance of taking them by surprise. I do also, though, have a better chance of being shot in the back. Just missed my chance on the M36 again. Really disappointed that I didn't get the kill on him. That round into his side should have done the job quite comfortably. I've already killed one M36 this game with a shot placed in the exact same part of the crew compartment. And he ended up going on to kill off one of our tank destroyers, so yeah, just a little bit gutted over that one. And again, just a moment too late. Missed out on quite a few kills this game. Just by ever so slight timing. Now from the kill log I know there is an enemy M26. Although, given that I didn't see any shots or any smoke, my assumption is that he's somewhere nearer to B. If he isn't, hopefully my artillery can at least sort of tag anything up that tries to charge in and stop our heavy from capping. In the meantime, I can get on with that manoeuvre I was talking about earlier, going over the bridge and swinging back around. The M26 has just killed the player that was on B. So, I'm pretty certain he's over there. This is risky. I am driving with my sort of side and rear exposed to their spawn direction. It's not that safe, but I am able to pick up a few respawners on the way. And now it's just working out the best way to approach the B point. While I'm over here holding off a few of their reinforcements, the rest of my team has respawned and is starting to push back out. There shouldn't be anything on our side of the map anymore. Everything should be contained into this sort of third of the map between their spawn and the B point and up at the top of the hill. Again, sorry for the pop-ups, the unexpected noises. This was a really good game, and in spite of all these things, I felt it was worth using. So there's the M26 that I was expecting. I can only see his transmission, but it does give me the option of starting 3 fires to kill him. It's not ideal. That, much more so, getting him to turn his turret and try and see where that shot came from, allows me to shoot into the back of his turret. The Pershing now has an ammo rack forced into the left side of that turret ring. It's a pretty reliable kill if you shoot there. And if you do fail to blow up the ammo rack, there's always a lot of crew behind it as well, so it's probably a maximum damage shot. That's kill number 13 and another enemy down. And again. I don't think I've had this many pop-ups in a clip for quite a while, actually. I've been sat for the past few days trying to debate exactly which video to use. I've got a few that I'm reasonably happy with the performance, but struggling to really sort of put them together in any way that I feel is worth it. There's no great single games. This is the one that has fit best for me. It's not tagged as a stream highlight because I am doing post commentary. I should probably clarify such things a little more, or just try and play a bit more off stream. But we are drawing to a close now. Just this last and 14th kill ahead of me. I actually thought he'd seen me, which was why he'd stopped and started backing up. Maybe seen my aerial or seen my 50 cal, but seems he hasn't noticed me, so one through the turret front, takes the breach, takes a couple of the crew and gets the kill. And that's their final player down. And with it, the end of this battle. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I do like the Pershing, and when the Italian tech tree comes out, I think this is going to see a lot of use. So there we go, 14 kills, 1 death, unfortunate but can't be helped. 15,000 RP and 120,000 lines. Certainly when the Italian tech tree comes out, that will help a lot in speeding my way through it. Not too fast, of course. I do want to still play the lower tier ones, but it'd be nice to have the option. Thank you to Satanic Bone Crusher for donating this vehicle to me. It wasn't what I intended to pick up. I was just going to go for the Leoncello. Thank you very much for that. And that just about wraps it up. So once again, sorry for the silly amount of pop-ups. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you next time.